if you're interested in investing, you've probably already known who Robert Kiyosaki is. This man needs no introduction as he is the author of the famous book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Throughout the years, Robert also wrote other books which helped aspiring investors in their path to building wealth. And in this video, we will talk about one of Robert's books entitled Rich Dad's Guide to Investing. We will discuss the 5 main lessons you can learn from this book, so stay tuned because this guide might help you in your journey towards financial freedom. So make sure to watch this video to the end. This is Financial Intellect, where we promote that to be finance savvy, we are your buddy. Now let's get right into the video. Lesson number 1. Focus on creating assets that will buy assets. In Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert discussed how his real dad has a much higher wage compared to his rich dad. However, he knew that his real dad will never be able to afford a beach house unlike his rich dad. Robert's rich dad explained that the reason behind this is that the rich dad spent years working hard to create wealth in his own company, while Robert's real dad had spent his life working hard for money, which only created someone else's wealth, not his. What his rich dad was trying to say is that if you want to build wealth, you need to work on building your assets. Working for someone else will not make you rich. As Warren Buffett often says, you will work until you die if you don't find a way to make money while you're sleeping. If you can successfully create an asset that will generate positive cash flow, then you can now also start expanding your asset column. This means that you can now start acquiring additional assets. Always aim to invest in assets that can generate more cash flow, so any profits you can get from this can also be used to acquire additional assets again. Do this again and again until you've acquired enough assets. If you can do it correctly, then you will be able to benefit from the compounding effect. One of the things you should consider why you should invest using the cash flow from your assets in a business instead of your paycheck is that the cash flow can be spent as gross income. Just like Robert's rich dad, he buys assets with his gross income and only pays taxes for the remaining next income. Robert's real dad, however, is the opposite. He pays taxes on his gross income and then buys assets using his net income. Another dimension that should be taken into consideration is safety. Remember, owning and operating an asset always involves risks. Whether you operate your asset as an individual or through a corporation, there are always risks involved. And if this is your main concern, then you are much better protected if you will have your assets operated by a corporation instead of doing it yourself. Lesson number 2. Use debt as a leverage to build wealth. Some people might disagree with this as there are varied opinions about debt itself. Some view debt as bad and something you should avoid at all costs. Others, however, also view debts as a tool that you can use to help you speed up your wealth-building journey. For Robert, he believes that there is bad debt and there is good debt. The difference between the two is their purpose, what they are used for, and how they affected the person's cash flow. Now let's discuss bad debt first. This type of debt is when you borrow money to buy a more expensive home, a new car, or a new gadget. And this is bad because instead of adding to your cash flow, they instead weaken your cash flow, which will only make you more dependent on your next paycheck. This type of debt is a death trap because as time goes on, you will only build liabilities instead of building wealth. Instead of buying assets to generate more income, you instead use them to finance buying fancy things. If you have this kind of behavior, no matter how much your income increases, your bad debt will also increase. On the other hand, good debt is the opposite of bad debt. This type of debt generates stronger cash flow. This is what the rich do. They use debt to buy assets that could generate more cash flow. So the debt is not an additional liability, but acts as a leverage. They use it to yield more returns. Lesson number 3. Minimize income and maximize expenses. Now, you might disagree with this idea, as this sounds crazy and contradicts what you're supposed to do. But remember the time when Robert worked for his rich dad when he was 9 years old? He was only making 10 cents per hour. And when he asked his rich dad for a raise, his rich dad removed his salary instead of raising it. That sounds bad, right? But what the rich dad is trying to teach him is that Robert should not get addicted to an hourly wage. He should not think like an employee. Employees think that they can get ahead financially by maximizing their income while minimizing their expenses. Robert's rich dad believed in the opposite. He instead recommends that people should aim to maximize their expenses instead of income. Sounds crazy as it is, but the rich dad believes that you should instead minimize your income so you won't be dependent on salary alone. This will motivate you to venture into business and invest in other things that can truly build your wealth. Now, on maximizing expenses, Robert's rich dad believes that those people who maximize their expenses are usually the ones who excel in business. We're not talking about expenses like bags and clothes though. What we refer to as expenses here are those that will allow you to get ahead of the rat race. This includes expenses like acquiring new assets, learning new skills, hiring more people, and going to a seminar to learn more. As the rich dad puts it, if you want to become rich, then you should think like how a rich person does. And rich people maximize their expenses to make more. To put it in simpler terms, the rich spend their money to make money. Lesson number 4. Aim to acquire the 3 E's. Robert's rich dad believes that if you want to become successful, then you need to achieve these 3 things: education, experience, and excess cash. These 3 E's are what will get you ahead in life. The first one is education. This is essential because you need to have a good understanding of business, the dynamics, how they operate, reading a financial statement, and more. Without education, you wouldn't be able to do this. The second one is experience. After you get the education, then you should next aim to get experience in the field. And the rich dad believed that the best way to gain experience in business is to create your own. You need to learn how to build, fail, and rise again. This will make you resilient and will encourage you to continue trying until you've made it. Lastly, you need excess cash. Now, you don't have to worry that much if you don't have this. Robert's rich dad believes that this will eventually come if you will have the education and experience first. But if you want to speed up your wealth building, then excess cash can help you acquire more assets and investments. Lesson number 5. The right time to start is today. As recommended by his rich dad, Robert started his first business as a part-time job, and he recommends the same for you. Do not give up on your normal job, as it is what will put food on your table. This is your backup in case you will fail. But if you have extra energy, money, and time, put that into building your own business. Explore, fail, learn, and repeat if necessary. Do not stop until you've made it. As Robert's rich dad puts it, failure is part of owning a business, so you only need to be right once. So try and try again. Do not let failure stop you. Remember, most millionaires lose several times before they've made it big. So there you go. Those are the 5 lessons you can learn from Robert Kiyosaki's Rich Dad's Guide in Investing. What are your thoughts on this? Do you think you can also apply those lessons to your life? Let us know in the comment section below. We'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And with that, thank you very much for watching. If you like what you've watched, stay tuned for more videos. Bye, financial buddies!